Okay, so now it is time for us to move on to the junior section of challenge mode. And how am I going to start that off, you may ask? Well, we have quite a lot of colour variants to get from BMW, so that's where we're going to go. We are going to head over to Bavarian Motorworks. I only just learned that's what BMW stands for, but anyway. We are going to do these three BMW bikes. The Motorrad R1200 ST, the Motorrad K1200R, and the Motorrad K1200S. Because we have a lot of colours to get through here, and I might as well get those out of the way now. Because, why not? And where we start off at Grand Valley. I figured this was more or less a good place to open up the junior category, especially since I would imagine we have got a shitload of bikes to get through by the time we get to the other junior manufacturers. As for the manufacturers with 3 bikes or less, well, I've got something worked out for them, but I just figured because we have a lot of colour variants to claim from BMW, I might as well open up the junior section by doing this, because I figured it would make my job easier. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to prove here. Probably didn't need to downshift there, but I still did anyway. And at this point, I think we're going okay. Looks like I'm gonna pass him up the inside, which is what I do, as we head through the tunnel, holding on to my bike, and there we go. Easy peasy, in just 1 minute and 40 seconds. I should have changed my overalls as well. Oh well, I'll probably do that before the next episode if I can remember to do it. I might also consider switching over to the fucking street clothes, since I do have those as well. Anyway. Our first of 6 colour variants of the R1200 ST. Now we must get through the others. And then we can move on to the K1200R. So same objective again. This is probably not going to take me too long to catch up to the Honda VFR that is in front of me. I would imagine catching him is going to be relatively easy. We're more or less just catching the rabbit here, even though we're technically catching a tortoise because of how much of a power deficit the Honda has in comparison to the Beamer. And so we are just 8 seconds behind I figured it was at least ideal for me to, well, you know, end off, well, start off the junior section by doing fuck knows whatever with the BMWs. I almost fell off the bike there, but was able to hold on. I live to fight another day. As I go round the outside. And this is mine. Unfortunately, I have to do this another 6 times as well. So, 4 more runs to do using the K1200 ST. And then, once we are done with that, we can then move on to our other 2 BMW models. I hope. So 2 colours down, and 4 colours to go. My attempts of getting the bike in this colour variant so far have gone very poorly. And I can definitely say there have been plenty of mistakes up to this point in trying to get the bike in this colour variant. That's one thing I know for sure up to this stage. Especially since I have now failed this 3 times. Okay, this has been a much smoother run than my previous 3. And through the tunnel we go, and there we go. 4th time's the charm. But there we go. It's ours. And you know what? I'm gonna save the replay now. Because why not? Especially since I don't have a replay of this BMW yet. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's right. It's 13, not 12. Okay. That's another replay saved, and another one for me to record later. As we now have just 2 more colour variants to go, and then we can move on to our other 2 bikes. Because that's what I do. Okay, there we go. 2 colour variants to go. Oh, correction. 3 colour variants to go. I'm just really tired right now. Anyway. I can definitely say, after a while, this does tend to get pretty tiring in terms of when you're just constantly collecting bikes over and over again. And I got onto the curb. Anyway. We now move on to what should be run number 4 of 6 with the K1200 ST. And so we move on. Because that is what we do. And so we move on. Alright. 145.6. Sorry, a 146 is what it takes me to get this colour variant of this bike. I will honestly be relieved by the time this is over, because it definitely feels like it's taking a bit longer than what I personally think it should, but as long as it gets me the bikes, I don't really care. Because I'm still getting the bikes, and I'm still getting my fucking rider's experience worth. 2 more colour variants to go, and then we can move on to the K1200R, which is probably the bike I like the best of all the junior BMW models, but that's just me. If you're asking, that's just what I think, not really what anyone else thinks, in all honesty. But either way, we continue on. Because that is why we do what we do. As former NFL player Herman Edwards once said, "You play to win the game." Even though he technically played for the Eagles. But still, his words ring very true. And that's also, ironically, the case with video gamers as well, because you really do play to win the game. Even though that could just be a direct correlation to the NFL Madden franchise. Named, of course, after the legendary head coach and, ironically, football analyst John Madden. Because, well, the clue is literally in the name of the series itself, NFL Madden. It's literally named after John Madden, if you're asking. John Madden, by the way, definitely goes down as being one of the NFL's most iconic head coaches. And he did also lead the Raiders to 2 of their 3 Super Bowls. And where the team itself would eventually become a dynasty by 1984. When the team itself had went on to score their 3rd, and so far, final Super Bowl, because they haven't officially made it to the Super Bowl since 2003. And on that occasion, where they did have the legendary wide receiver Jerry Rice, they also went on to get demolished in that game by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A team itself, by the way, which has only won the Super Bowl twice. And on one of those occasions it also came with, ironically, the NFL's single greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, at the helm. When the Tampa Bay Bucs went on to beat the now dominant Chiefs. Even though the Raiders themselves as a franchise, they've not exactly had a lot of success in recent times. And that can also come down to a litany of different reasons, but nonetheless, at least I can say, out of all the players from within the Raiders camp who definitely deserves a mention, I would consider Howie Long to be one of them, and the other one I would consider is probably the best Raiders quarterback, Ken Stabler, who I think went on to win 2 of the Raiders' 3 Super Bowl titles. Because I'm pretty sure they won both Super Bowls 11 and 15. On one occasion, they beat the Minnesota Vikings, and on the other occasion, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I know this because I have done my research, and I am pretty sure 2 of those occasions were when John Madden was at the helm of the ship for that team, when they went on to achieve their dynasty by the mid-80s. The Raiders also used to be based in Oakland before they moved over to Las Vegas, which ironically is where the team has more or less been since 2021, is it? I think it's 21, when they relocated to Vegas. Anyway, on now to the BMW Motorrad K1200R. And we've got a whopping 160 horsepower, which in the motorcycle world is huge, because we just have so much speed coming out of the bikes at about 160. Those speeds really are insane, if I do say so myself. And you really have got to be mindful of where you position the bike And also making sure that you take care of the bike as well whilst you're at it. But yeah, I mean, to put it simply, the Raiders effectively did become the franchise they are today because of John Madden. Even though for decades they were based in Oakland, California. But because of just how toxic the fan culture was getting over there, with all the gang violence, and also with the stadium itself ironically falling into disrepair as well, it was fair to say that the Raiders were definitely needing a change of colours by the time they moved over to Vegas, and under the circumstances, they more or less did that. Because, ironically, the same year they relocated from Oakland, California to Las Vegas, Nevada, they ironically made the playoffs that same year. First time they actually did that since, I think it was 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that's the first of our 3 colour variants now cinched, with the K1200R. Yeah, okay, I just remembered. Yeah, it was 2002 the last time the Raiders made the playoffs before 2021. At least the 02 season was when they did that. And in all honesty, well, the Raiders in recent times, they've not really managed to put together much else that's really noteworthy history-wise. I should also mention that, believe it or not, there is actually going to be a biopic coming out soon with Nicolas Cage ironically playing as John Madden. It'll literally be a biopic on arguably the NFL's most iconic head coach and TV analyst, no less, who went on to become arguably one of the modern NFL era's most iconic coaches. Well, I would probably put him in the same league as the likes of Don Shula, Bill Walsh, and I'm also going to have to say I'll probably also include the likes of Jimmy Johnson and Bill Belichick among that group of iconic head coaches. At least those are the ones that come to mind with me as being some of the very best in terms of the head coaches who achieved resounding success with their respective teams. But enough about that. Let's now move on to our third and final colour variant with the K1200R. And then we will have just one more bike to go. Yeah, I figured I'd just get that out of the way because you don't really need to see me just, well, fucking about with just giving the bike a full view shot from all angles. Okay, anyway. We now move on to our third and final colour variant with the BMW Motorrad K1200R. And we are 5 seconds behind. But no matter, we will close in. Because that is what we do. Okay, it's all good. And now we have just 1 second between us and the other BMW. And now this bike in all 3 of its colour variants is now ours. And all it took me was 1 minute and 21 seconds to get there. And now we move on to our third and final junior bike at BMW. And then once we are done with that, we can then move on to our next set of junior bikes. Okay, next. Yep, that's all of them. And now we just have these 4 colour variants to go, and this time we are at Deep Forest Raceway for our third and final set of colours in the junior section of BMW. Let's see how we go. Hopefully I can remember to stay up on the bike. But we'll wait and see. Okay, we are doing well. As we are just 7 seconds behind the leader. And so we continue here on the bumpy surface of Deep Forest. And shooting up the inside, really had to get on the brakes there to make the corner, but I did so. Took me nearly a full lap to get there, but I got it done. I got it done nonetheless, in spite of me almost failing at the very end. But we've got our first of 4 colour variants for the K1200S. And now we just have to get our other 4. And then we should be good. Okay. Next. As we are doing the same again. Because we can. And this time, we are riding in black and yellow. I think out of all the colour designs on this bike that I think are good, this one definitely stands out to me as probably being the best of the bunch, is what me thinks. I definitely think this colour design stands out to me as being my personal favourite of the four, but that's just on me. I think this colour design is the best, but again, I'm not exactly forcing you to choose which colour design you think is the best. I just think this colour design is pretty good, and I'm okay with it. But anyway, enough about that. Let's actually get past our opponent again, as we will complete our first lap, and heading down the stretch, I get the advantage, also stepping on the brakes early and going deep into the corner, and there we go. 2 of our 4 colour variants are now clinched. And now we just have 2 to go. And then we should be good. As far as I can see. So the BMW Motorrad K1200S in black and yellow is now ours. Or more or less black and white. Sorry. Black and yellow. Yeah, that's right. Black and yellow. And now we have the non-stripped colour models of this bike to get. I think we'll probably be at least 20% done by the time we've finished this part of the junior bikes. But either way, things are going well. And that's kind of what I need them to be doing. Because I've been at this now for a while, and I feel like I probably do deserve to call it a day once I'm done with this one. And that's probably what I'll do, because I have made some good progress in the challenge mode, no doubt. Yeah, you do kind of have to lift when you're on that back stretch, because if you don't, then well, you'll basically fall off the bike. At least that's more or less the way I've learned to do it. I've learned to be conservative on that back stretch, because I kind of have to be. And now we just have one more colour left on the board with this bike. And then we will have all 3 of our junior bikes here at BMW. So, yeah. Okay, 1 colour to go, and then we will be finito. with the BMW Motorrad K1200S in solid blue. We will be done, and it will probably take me just 40 minutes to get all of these. To get what I think is probably all 13 of the junior bike colour variants and I still overshoot that corner, but luckily, however, the game lets me get away with running wide, which in all honesty surprises me, but nonetheless, I can live with it, because it pushes me through. And now, there's just a matter of feet between me and the bike ahead. Had to be a bit ballsy there by not lifting on the stretch, but it seems to have worked out for me because I am closing in on the leader, and for me, this is going to be where the job gets done. I have got this one cinched. And all it took was a minute and 30 seconds to get it done. Oh my god. Anyway, there we go. It's done. We've got all 13 of our colour variants from the junior bikes of BMW. And now that we have done this, we can now go and view our progress. Because I have so many bikes now. I'm also pretty sure that now moves me up to, what is it, 101 bikes? Anyway, let's check to be sure. So, 4, 7, yeah, 13. Yeah, that should put me up to just over 100 bikes now in my garage. And these other two, well, they will be coming later. But there we go. So, the junior bikes have now been opened in challenge mode, and we began with BMW. And next time, we will be heading over to Honda, where we have got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 junior bikes to get from Honda. And as for the other ones, well, as long as you're still watching, then stay tuned to find out. But anyway, and I was right. We are now up to 101 bikes in our garage. And these are our BMWs. So we've got all 6 models. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, where are the other ones? I was pretty sure I had them in here somewhere. Unless I missed them somewhere along the way. I don't know, whatever. Point is, we're now up to 101 bikes, and we've reached 18.4% of progress. And you know what? I think we've made probably 9% of progress now, so I'm actually prepared to call this a day. Because I'm actually getting pretty tired now, and also because, well, I've been at this now for at least 2.5 hours and I'm not really in the best of shape to do another one. So, yeah. I think we'll call it here. So, the junior section of challenge mode has now been opened up with BMW. And next time we will be doing the Honda junior bikes of challenge mode. Coming in the next episode of Tourist Trophy.